Hi, I'm John Gray, your Mars Venus health educator, and I love talking about depression because it's one of the most important health challenges that can dramatically be solved very quickly in some cases. Some cases it takes a little bit longer, and then the result is better relationships. Ultimately, challenges in our relationships and our life can cause depression, but a lot of things can cause depression. And unfortunately, we don't know how to solve depression. And as a result, today, it's like candy. You can go to the store and get candy. You can take Prozac, you can take Zoloft, all of these what are called SSRIs, the antipsychotics for people who are for people who are depressed. Now, first, we have natural remedies for this. But first, let's understand that it's appropriate to feel depressed when there's a big problem. You're supposed to feel that way. If your life's in danger and you haven't yet figured out how to solve the situation, if something bad has happened, you haven't figured out how to solve something, what occurs is we've got three parts of the brain. The back part of the brain is what's called the reptilian part of the brain. When the reptilian part of the brain, it has to do with survival, and you have very little control over it. So what it does, it causes you to sort of withdraw into yourself. You're supposed to, for thousands of years at winter time, so that you protect yourself and there's nothing you can do to solve anything because it's too cold outside. You're supposed to withdraw into yourself. You're supposed to your metabolism slows down, you withdraw into yourself, and that's kind of a natural depressive state. So we're designed to become depressed when there's danger or when there's no food around, when there's no excitement, when there's no fun, when it's bleak. We're supposed to become depressed. The problem today is we're becoming depressed when there are all these wonderful opportunities around us. But that first reaction of depression is normal, and it will need extra support for us to come out of that state. And often we don't have that support, and that support is both social as well as nutritionally. And what we're going to discuss is how much of our depression is actually caused by the lack of the right nutrition and by taking in the wrong substances will actually cause that part of the brain to become activated and we become depressed. And normal depression, healthy depression, isn't even uncomfortable. It's like taking a nap. You feel good doing it. What happens today is that we suffer when we're depressed because we're depressed at a time when there are wonderful things in our life, when there is sun shining, where our possibilities exist, and it's not freezing cold winter, and it's not a gloomy day, and yet we're still depressed. That's the problem. So let's figure out how to solve that problem and understand it better. Generally speaking, 10 to 1 in terms of men to men, women have depression. So for every one man who's depressed, there's probably 9 or 10 women who are depressed. Now, other studies, that's been my experience, and I see it again and again. Some people be more conservative. They say 4 women to 1 man are depressed. But the bottom line is, in some states, in the United States, 1 out of 3 women is on an antidepressant for being depressed. And it could be 1 out of 2 women if you take into consideration antidepressant plus sleeping medication. They can't sleep because often one of the symptoms of depression is also you can't sleep. So life is awful for these people. It's terrible for these people. And I feel so terrible that they don't know what I know. How to heal your body of depression. You first understand that, all right, this is a natural, normal thing, but I don't need to be feeling it right now. But if I just lost someone, I'm supposed to be depressed. Depression takes a while to work through. Depression is a huge stress on the body, and when you have a huge stress, like I lose someone, that's a huge stress to me. When you're under a lot of stress, your body uses up certain nutrients that help you to cope with stress. Our food supply today doesn't have those nutrients to help us cope with stress, and instead we eat the wrong things that actually deplete the body of what we need to cope with stress. So this is like insane what's going on today because nobody knows the simple solution I'm about to give you. So the first thing that happens when people are depressed is their stress levels go up. When your stress levels go up, cortisol is released into your body. Life is not helpful. You're depressed because you're not recognizing life is wonderful. I have love and support. I can create love and support. I can achieve my goals. It's a great place to be. You've disconnected from that. You're getting the opposite of that. The world is not such a great place for me. It's dangerous for me. It's non-supportive to me. That triggers the fight or flight syndrome in the brain. That raises your cortisol levels. It's a stress hormone. When that stress hormone increases, all kinds of bad stuff occurs. The first thing that happens when the stress hormone increases is that you crave sugar, because your body thinks, when I'm stressed, I need to run away from a dog, or run away from a lion, or run away from a big elephant, whatever. You got to run. So to run away, your body needs fast energy. So your body goes into craving sugar, which gives you fast energy, and inhibits fat burning, which gives you long-lasting energy. So as soon as your body begins burning sugar under stress, sugar depletes your brain of a particular mineral. It depletes your body of a lot of minerals, but particularly it depletes your brain of the mineral lithium. Lithium is the brain mineral, is a mineral necessary to assist your brain in making serotonin, the brain chemical that tells you the sun is out, it's a beautiful day, I have opportunities, let me go reach out and get the love and support which is there. We need to have that part of the brain awakened. And serotonin is the brain chemical associated with that. To make serotonin, we need plenty of lithium. And plenty just means a little bit, but we need the lithium required to make the serotonin. We also need omega-3, some omega-3, which generally we get in our diet to some extent. Everybody's like loading up on omega-3. The reason we need more omega-3 is because we have less lithium, A, and B, we need more omega-3 because we eat too much omega-6. Omega-6 kind of cancels out the omega-3. And the omega-6 is all of the vegetable oils that we see in packaged foods. You'll see fats, vegetable oils. And they sound great because they're vegetable oils, but it's way too much. So you got to stay away from packaged foods. You need to supplement with a tiny bit of lithium. The form is called lithium orotate. And you take 4.5 milligrams. If you're just a normal person experiencing stress, you take 4.5 milligrams. And generally speaking, for people who are depressed for a while, take about 25 milligrams of lithium orotate. They're tiny little capsules, and basically 5 would be 2 in the morning, 1 for lunch, and 2 for dinner. And that's it. And it's little tiny minerals, so little capsules. It's amazing. And suddenly, and I have lots of friends who have learned this, and instead of taking expensive antidepressants that have a terrible effect on them, they just take these little capsules of lithium, and boom, their symptoms are gone. This is the amazing thing. I see so many people wasting their lives away taking antidepressants. Now in part 2, I'll talk about how to go off of antidepressants. But first of all, know that the solution is there, and you can start the solution even if you're still taking your drugs. Okay, now, you know, there's an old saying, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. If you're going to a doctor and you're taking their drugs, go to them and ask them what you should do. But even then, the best way to go ask them is say, look, I'm feeling better, and so I want to take less drug. I'll talk about that in part 2. But the most important thing is understand you're not alone. 1 out of 3 women is depressed. And of course, there's some men along in that situation too, but way more women are depressed. What we need to do is add the basic foundation of the Mars Venus Wellness Solution. Remember, that's the easy to digest protein. If you're depressed, guess what? You can't digest your proteins. If you can't digest your proteins, you can't make dopamine, which gives you pleasure, and serotonin, which gives you optimism. You can't make those brain chemicals. You're in a loop. You're going to go down, 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 down. Why? Because you can't digest your proteins. Get some good enzymes, as well as a good protein shake in the morning that's easy to digest protein. Put in some omega-3. Take a mineral supplement. Help cleanse your body of the heavy metals. That's the Mars Venus Wellness Solution. Now add to that extra ingredients that you're going to need. And the extra ingredients is about 25 milligrams of lithium orotate a day. And boom, you are feeling better, and you're like wondering, why was I feeling so bad? Why was I not sleeping well? Why did I have all those problems? It's a wonderful day. The sun is out. And remember, with the Mars Venus Shake, they also have the goji berries, which are really good for brightening your mood as well. There's some other superfoods that I talk more about, but there's maca that helps stimulate good hormones. You just put that in your shake. You can, learn more about different ways of improving your Mars Venus Wellness Solution, but just those basics is the foundation for, instead of being depressed in your life, being happy and fulfilled and motivated in your life. In part 2, I'll talk about how to go off of antidepressants.